Entertainment purposes only. Timestamps and link to book a reading are down below. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Picking up from where we left off, we just did Nicki Minaj, and let's get started on a reading on Cardi B. So, congrats to Cardi B. She recently gave birth in early November to her son with her current boyfriend, football player Stefon Diggs. This healthy baby boy will be Cardi's fourth child and Stefon's third. Stefon has a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-month-old daughter that was born earlier this year, both by separate women. So he is enjoying his first son with Cardi B, while Cardi B is still married to her rapper ex Offset. And over the holidays, we saw Stefon holding what looked like another newborn son, as rumors continue that he may have more babies on the way. Sounds a little messy. But they've recently been seen loved up in Miami, celebrating Stefon's birthday during the Art Basel week, and it seems to be working for them so far in terms of them having children from outside relationships at the same time concurrently. So let's pull a few cards to see the energy between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, who's currently 32 years old. As I just said, he is a Sagittarius that just celebrated his birthday this month. And Cardi B is a 33-year-old Libra who celebrated in October. Let's see, will their relationship last? Spirit, let's get some cards out on Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. And afterwards, maybe we'll pull out a few cards to see if there's any energetic updates on the divorce that she's going to be getting from her husband, soon to be ex, Offset. Ooh, wait a second. So in this reading that we're starting to ask about the energy between Cardi B and Stefon, it looks like there may be some heavy burdens. So there may be some strain in their relationship energetically, or because of the demands of having a child, the demands of career, the demands of all the travel and the different things that their careers and industries and lifestyles require. Stefon is a football player. Cardi B is a rapper that is supposed to start a tour early next year. Plus they have a newborn, plus Stefon has another newborn from earlier this year that I mentioned in the background information at the top of this reading. So that must be putting some strain on their relationship, if not now, at some point. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse, indicating a desire for peace after stress and conflict. So it looks like there is a desire for ease, and there is the effort being made. One of them or both of them are carrying a heavy burden, a lot on one's shoulders, to try to make things as peaceful and easy for both of them as possible, to avoid conflict after a lot of fights, a lot of pettiness, a lot of abuse. Now they want conflict resolution. Maybe the conflicts and abuse were not necessarily between them. It's from past partners or from people around them. But let's see what the following cards can share. So here we have the King of Wands, this Sagittarius card again in reverse. We saw this in the Nicki Minaj reading, which indicates someone who is ruthless, someone that's in a position of leadership, but they are very stubborn, so they're not the best leader. Someone who is unrealistic, has unachievable expectations, someone who is using their passion and their energy in the wrong direction. So because it's a Sagittarius, I'm of course going to first suspect that this is supposed to represent Stefon Diggs' energy, but it could just be whichever one in this relationship is wearing the pants, so to speak. So if Cardi is the one that is calling the shots in the relationship, maybe she is unrealistic, or something just told me energetically this is indeed Stefon. Like, he does not have a lot of understanding or appreciation for what it takes to have a family at the same time as keeping your career afloat. Cardi B has a little more experience with that since she's been a mother 4 times already, but this is also the first time that we're seeing Cardi B step back into her career in a more present and active way. So I would say that they both have F. Toby says she suspects that Stefon is manipulative. I mean, and this is just me talking, this is not the cards, but a man that's going to create so many broken homes, there's going to be an element of manipulation, even if it is subconscious, because they don't recognize the kind of damage that does to the children that come up behind them and the destabilization that is for the whole household. So I wouldn't be surprised if indeed he is. I personally have a feeling that maybe Cardi B caters more to him and his schedule and his needs. So maybe he is the one in the relationship that is bossy and not thinking clearly with the decision making and not realizing what a burden or how much work goes into keeping everything afloat. It feels like it may be a little more one sided, like Cardi is the one that has to bear the brunt, that has to structure her life around his in order to try to create some normalcy, to create some peace and some ease. And that is usually not sustainable. So let's see where this reading is going. And by the way, thanks for coming back, Toby. It's really nice having you. I love having informed people in the audience while I'm reading. You're giving me energy and I'm able to reciprocate energetically. Now, here we have the worst card to see in any love reading, in any relationship reading. And this is the second time that we're seeing this lover's card in reverse tonight. We just saw it in a previous reading. I think, was it Lady Gaga? Yeah. So it's not good news to see this card again. It indicates that they are not meant for each other. They're not soulmates. They're not destined. They're not harmonious in their union, in their love for each other. This is, again, for those of you just joining me, this is a reading on the energy between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. So it doesn't seem that this will be a long-lasting, everlasting love, but I'm feeling like this is Cardi B's energy, like she's trying to make it work and she's trying to create peace and ease, but Stefon Diggs, the Sagittarius, represented here by the King of Wands in reverse, is stubborn. He may be a little difficult. He may be unrealistic and unappreciative of how much work goes into trying to maintain a high profile relationship at the same time as raising kids and having a very demanding career. So that, as I said before, is not sustainable and it's not healthy and it will not last long term. That could be the reading right there, but I'll still pull out a few more cards for fun. But here we have the Six of Swords indicating victory. So this might be that Stefon wins something in his career as a football player, or Cardi B is very successful with her tour. Both of them are able to see success somewhere in their career. This is a positive card about victory, triumph, public recognition. This is public favor. This is very good brand or image. So it's always good to see this kind of card in a reading for people that are in entertainment, or in Stefon's case, an athlete. So this may indicate that while their love life may not be ideal, the prioritization of their work life may actually be fruitful or successful for them. So that's at least a positive. And then we have, oh, yikes, Ace of Swords. There's some dishonesty in the relationship or the energy somewhere, somehow, with this Ace of Swords reversed. Dishonesty, or someone's not thinking clearly enough to make good decisions. So bad decisions may be made. There may be a bit of chaos, anxiety, stress, and we are seeing that there was the effort being made to avoid stress, to avoid fighting, to create ease, but there may be a lot of confusion because of some dishonesty or some clouded judgment. So we haven't seen anything to indicate love. I would say that we are seeing trouble in paradise thus far. Ooh, never good to see the Three of Pentacles nor the Three of Cups in reverse, because it's just about people working against you instead of with you. Upright, the Three of Pentacles indicates teamwork and collaboration, but in reverse, people are working against you, not with you, not for you. So this could once again reveal extramarital affairs. Someone may be stepping out of the relationship, entertaining a third party or more than three parties, and this is contributing to this Lover's card in reverse, this disharmony in the relationship. So I would say that that's part of the dishonesty as well. And this, when I circle back to the Six of Wands, it's as if this is somewhat of a mask or a cover for the problems in the relationship. So now that I'm seeing it side by side, it could be that they want to keep up a good image in public, but behind the scenes, it's, as I said in the intro, the background, context that I gave. It's messy behind the scenes. There's lies, there's cheating, there's someone who is very irrational and easily irritated, perhaps even aggressive. There is elements of things being one-sided in this relationship, someone working really hard to keep the peace, which I feel like that may be Cardi B. And let's see what else. Oh, that's a good one, Toby. Yeah. Also, by the way, since the Three of Pentacles could indicate coworkers, it could have something to do with somebody someone's working with. That's a good point, Toby. So that's something to keep in the back of our minds. So if it's someone within the sports industry or someone within the music industry that one of them is having an affair with, then that's even more damaging because it feels like, well, why are you doing it so close to home, as they say? Well, I can't say the saying, but they say you don't blank where you eat. So, oh, wait a minute. I did not expect to see this. This is the Four of Wands, and this indicates a happy home life, a happy personal life, stability, celebrations, this marriage, celebrations, graduations, baby showers. This is a very pleasant and stable home life foundation or family. So I wonder if that means that they will actually push through to get married anyway to keep up this image, even though there is some discord behind the scenes. Let me look at what the bottom of the deck say, because that is kind of hard to believe. Oh, so maybe they're okay with someone having an additional party and extramarital affairs. This Three of Cups indicates that they may be celebrating their love, and at the same time, this could also indicate that they may be cool with the idea of someone stepping outside of the relationship. So there may be some awareness where they already know that, as I was saying, with the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, it usually indicates an affair when pulled in a relationship or love reading. And because this is upright, it's as if they know already that, they may have already agreed to have an open relationship, and that's why they're okay with moving forward, so they can keep up appearances and project whatever image they want. And that person that is okay with allowing the extramarital affairs is just compromising and sacrificing, bearing the brunt of allowing infidelity in the relationship, which I feel like it may be Cardi, in order for her to project this image of a happy home and let this man be happy with the people that he may be stepping out on her on, or if they have agreed to an open relationship, then it's not stepping out. But this Queen of Wands indicates someone who is jealous. This is a very aggressive and demanding personality or archetype. She is jealous. She may be a little insecure. She's selfish, and she may be so fired up, similar to this King of Wands in reverse. This is the Aries card, by the way. She may be so fired up that she's self-destructive. She doesn't see that she is putting her energy, her passion into the wrong thing, that she's blinded by insecurities and jealousies. So while Cardi is a Libra, that's an air sign, this could be a part of her energy where she's putting the effort and the passion into the wrong thing. This King of Wands, the Sagittarius, presumably Stefon Diggs. Yes, I was just reading your comment at the same time, Toby. It seems like Cardi B isn't learning her lesson. She's repeating the same cycle, because Offset is a Sagittarius as well. And when I did my first reading on Cardi, this card came out quite a few times. This card and the Knight of Wands also came out, just representing all of these fiery energies. All of them were in reverse. So it just kept showing the worst version of these fire signs and these fiery archetypes. And she herself she got that fire. She's got that fire. She's got that passion. She really wants to make things happen for her in her life, in terms of anything that she dedicates herself to. She tries to make it happen the way she wants. But this card in reverse indicates that she's not thinking with her mind, she's thinking with her ego, and she may burn herself with all that fire and energy and passion in the wrong direction. That Queen of Wands could also be someone outside of the relationship, perhaps someone that Stefon is having an affair with. But it's a feminine energy that's willing to be conflictive due to some insecurities and jealousies because of vindictiveness. So they may want to reveal something to try to impact or embarrass one of them in the relationship. Fallen star, someone might lose their fame or fall in popularity. Necessary to keep up the juggling act of balancing two or more people or priorities. Let me see what else we have there. Oh, expansion. Interesting. Didn't expect to see that. Doesn't feel like that's for this reading. And yeah, look at that. Someone's coming with bad news. This is legal issues. This is the page of swords in reverse. This is someone that is lacking the maturity to communicate or think properly. So this could be incompetence. This could be poor communication. This could be someone being defensive. So it seems like Cardi may be willing to deal with that for now, because anytime we do these readings, this is just an energy check at the moment. Energy can always change. And as we were discussing in the chat, let me see. Oh, for you guys, it might be down here. For others, it might be over here. But as we were discussing in the chat, it just may be a matter of going through the trials and tribulations to learn that these are burdens that are too heavy to carry, or cycles that are too damaging to repeat, in order for one or both of them to change their approach to relationships, this relationship, or whatever they experience in the future. So in conclusion, I would say that if we do see them get at least engaged, it will be a part of keeping appearances. But behind the scenes, we're not seeing love, we're seeing disharmony and very conflictive energy, even though there's effort to make peace, to keep the peace, to create ease. These strong-headed, fiery characters or archetypes are going to butt heads, and this is not sustainable. Agreeing to allow extramarital affairs, this open marriage approach, it's not sustainable, but also it might get out. Like, this could be a messenger sharing the bad news. It might get exposed, and that will contribute to this image, as I saw here, the fallen star. That might contribute to tarnishing someone's, the good face, the brave face that they're trying to put forth. Ultimately, I don't see this relationship lasting long or being healthy, but for whatever reason, they are at least content for now, content enough to try to make it look like it's progressing. And don't be surprised if there's a ring, if Stefon at least presents her with a ring, but I don't see marriage happening, especially while she's still divorcing. So on that note, we can actually start looking at a few cards to see what's going on with Cardi B and Offset's divorce, Spirit. What can we expect to see in the new year for Cardi B and Offset, this musical rap couple that in the past, unfortunately, we have seen them argue in public, reveal a bit of, not a bit, they were oversharing, mostly Cardi B, mainly Cardi B was oversharing. And oh, Sweet Butter Baby, hi! I'm so glad you've joined. It looks like you're catching up with the Nicki Minaj reading. And Sweet Butter Baby just said that Nicki Minaj's husband is a fire sign too, an Aries. Interesting. Lots of fire tonight. Lots of Sagittariuses that were a part of the readings. I was mentioning that the other day that I did these celebrity reading live streams. It's like there's a lot of Sagittariuses in entertainment. I think last time we did Miley Cyrus and I forget who else, but tonight we have a lot too. So I guess something about fiery Sagittarius is bold and creative enough to find themselves in the entertainment industry more often than the other signs. Let's actually pull a few cards out now to see what's up with another Sagittarius, Offset, Cardi B's ex-husband, who is not yet her ex. She's still legally married to him, but of course she's moved on. And started a family now with Stefon Diggs, the athlete, the football player. Their baby is about, I guess, 2 months old now. A cute baby boy. I'm assuming is cute because they are a good looking couple. And we don't know the baby's name is yet, but if there's a baby, she certainly has moved on. And it seems like she's happy. Again, as we saw with that Six of Wands, the appearance, the image, the public perception is to recognize that, oh, you came up, you won, he's handsome, he's got more money, and look at how he is, publicly partnering with you versus Offset. Now, from what I understood, the hangup with Offset was that he is seeking a lot of money from her in this divorce, which she is, of course, fighting or having her lawyers fight for her. Cardi B is. So let's see where things stand. Let's see if they will actually finalize their divorce this year, if there will be a lot of money lost on one or both sides. Yeah, wow. Immediately we see this Ace of Pentacles, and if I think back to, I think, my first Cardi B reading, we got a lot of cards in that reading indicating that she would have to pay out, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here again with this Ace of Pentacles card, indicating that usually this indicates a new financial opportunity, but I'm taking it to literally mean that she's handing over the coin. She's handing over the amount that he may be looking for, or an amount, not necessarily what he's looking for. She may just be doing whatever to get out of this, is what I'm seeing energetically with this Ace of Pentacles. So unfortunately, for the second or third time, I forget how many readings I've done on Cardi B thus far, but that is a reoccurring theme that I've seen consistently across all of them, is that they keep saying that she is probably going to have to pay a lot to get out of this divorce, unfortunately. Yeah, she doesn't have her heart in this. She just wants to move on. This is someone that is kind of clinging on in terms of the emotions. So there's codependency here. There's some neediness emotionally. And it feels like this is probably coming from Offset, where he's trying to get her where it hurts because he's trying to affect her emotionally. But this is someone who is very emotionally immature and codependent, needy. Let me see what other keywords may be escaping me at this time for the sake of time. Why am I not surprised? We have insecure, moody, withdrawn, codependent, overwhelming. So the insecurity is probably part of the reason that, as I said, trying to get her where it hurts. He's insecure that he's no longer going to have Cardi B in his life, because while they both met at a time that they were both making a name for themselves, or had a name for themselves in the hip hop industry, Cardi B has since become what most would agree the more famous or more successful artist of the two in that pairing. And so there may be some jealousy there, definitely some insecurity, but I'm seeing more financially insecure. So he may be codependent in the sense of financially dependent on Cardi, and using the emotional game to also fill the financial void somehow, the emotional manipulation, I guess you could say, using the marriage or the relationship to fulfill his needs or debts financially. So that's, of course, unhealthy, toxic, nasty. The High Priestess. So this indicates that there may still be gossip, rumors, and messy back and forth, either between the two of them, or Offset may be looking to spread some secrets, some negative news, because again, there's an element of insecurity, but also they do have that habit of pushing each other's buttons. And I would more so say Offset tends to provoke Cardi into reactions. So it seems like there may still be some more of that to come. This could also be some secret or some hidden information that gets revealed in the divorce. This is about someone that's not listening to their inner voice, their subconscious, their intuition. So maybe Cardi is trying to silence the inner voice of what she already knows her soon to be ex husband is capable of. And honestly, what else can she really do? Because I imagine that that's just a necessary part of her trying to move forward, move on with her life, is just trying to silence whatever inner voice is probably trying to game plan around anticipating his moves. But let's just pull out a few more here. Oh my God, she's so done. The world card means completion. She is so over and done. What's the song? What's that song? It's over and done, but the heartache lives on inside. I think that's Emotions by originally by the Bee Gees, but Beyonce and them redid it. So the world card upright indicating a life cycle is completed. This is positive when it's upright. This could also indicate travel. This could also indicate an accomplishment. So I actually feel like, yes, the divorce will be finalized in 2026. And emotionally, this will be a accomplishment, a big relief for both parties. But for some reason, I'm just getting Cardi. Like, what a relief. It is done. It's over. I paid up. I'm not going to be emotionally manipulated by this guy anymore. I don't have to continue to watch my back and wonder and listen to the suspicions of my inner voice that are saying he's going to try to do this, he's going to try to that, he's going to try to come from this angle to get whatever money, or he's going to, release whatever gossip. It's over. It will be done. So that's actually a really good card to wrap that row up on. And I'll still pull out a few more, because anytime I've pulled out just four and then I'm content with the answer, I feel like I have enough information. When I start editing the clips, I'm like, I kind of wonder what I wish I pulled four more just to see what else there is. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's going to be done. They'll be divorced, and they will not get back together. So they will not expand their family any further. They will not reconnect and redevelop a friendship. Offset and Cardi B will be done for good. So this Three of Wands reversed indicates that there is a delay, blockage, or obstacle, some sort of obstruction preventing, in this case, a couple from progressing, from scaling up, from further developing or expanding upon their relationship, because the Three of Wands upright is about expansion. So because this is following the world card, this indicates that it's a wrap. It's definitely, not only is it done, but it will not be revived. Like, they have their three kids already, one, two, three. They will not have any more. They will not reconnect. I know that that was one of the rumors or suspicions or expectations when Cardi B filed for divorce this time, because she had either she filed before or she threatened to file, and then they reconciled, and that was a cycle or a pattern that we had seen this couple repeat for quite a few years. I believe she was with him for about 7 years. They have three kids. Cardi B and Offset do. And because of the many times that she had forgiven him and gotten back with him despite his very flagrant and disrespectful public cheating and whatever other provocative or manipulative tactics he displayed with her behind the scenes or amongst people in their industry, all of that finally drove her to look for this divorce and really move forward with this time. So this is just to kind of answer to those people that suspected that at some point she might go back to him because of that habit or pattern that she had in the past. This is a definitive no, she will not. She's done for good. I mean, she's moved on and had a baby with another man who Offset happened to admire, because remember, Offset is a rapper. Stefon Diggs is a football player, a athlete. I believe he's good. I don't know if he's won any of the awards, but from what I understand, he's young, he's fit, and he is on one of the better teams, I think. So don't quote me on that. Hopefully someone in the chat can share share more accurately on if he is really worth his weight in gold. But I know that he was good enough for Stefon Diggs is good in the NFL. Okay, yeah, you see? I have such an informed audience. I love you guys for that. Thanks. So yeah, he's good in his job as a football player, and what's his name? Offset at some point really admired him, and now his wife is with him. So that's got to be a bit of a dig, right? A bit of a burn. Let's see what else we have here. Emotional immaturity. Why am I not surprised? One or both of the people in that relationship may be emotionally immature. I'm also going to pull out additional keywords here. We have naive, daydreaming, insecurity, irrational, creative blocks. So this state of emotional immaturity may be preventing one or both of them from thinking clearly, making the right decisions. But what I just got from this is after this relationship, the creative blocks portion. So Offset may not return to the level of success that he had once had musically, that he once achieved. He may not be as good creatively. He may be blocked from that because of his current mental state, his current energy. And there is still some work that he has to do within himself. Although, if we're being honest, I mean, I would think that there are many people in the hip hop and rap industry that could use a lot of self work, inner work, to avoid being emotionally immature. So it's not to say that just because you're emotionally mature, you cannot be successful in that industry. I think it's more so trying to say that his emotions will be impacted from this divorce, this relationship, especially since he is financially in need, indicating that his existing IP or whatever creative assets he has as a musician must not be substantial enough for his financial obligations. So this will actually be more of an issue than it seems in terms of on its own, this card is not that big of a deal, but in the bigger scheme of things, this might actually be a big blockage for him in his career and finances. So let's see what the last two cards are. I actually want to take a quick peek at the bottom. Yeah, look at that. Fears and anxieties, moving on from something regrettably with this moon card first. Fears, anxieties, illusions. And so what I'm getting from this is instead of illusions, I'm hearing delusions. So there may be some delusion from one or both of them about what their future holds. I'm again feeling like this is Offset. Maybe he is with the delusion that he can get more from this divorce than he's really entitled to or than what's really realistic. He may have a delusion that he can return to a certain level in his career, as we were just talking about on this Page of Cups in reverse. And he may also, but just to finish this reading, we have fears, anxieties, illusions. Someone's not seeing things clearly. Someone is thinking that their future maybe has more or better to hold than it really does in reality. And ultimately, that will require, with this Six of Swords, that will require that person to move on from something regrettably. So I'm feeling the energy of defeat and disappointment and regret coming from Offset. Like he's moving on not only from the relationship once the divorce is done, realizing that I can never go back, we will never be able to rekindle because, you know, she's not playing this time. She's so serious. She's really moved on already. He regrets the way that all unfolded, but also in his career, it seems like he's going to have to move on into either a different approach to his music or something else with business. So here we have this final card in this Cardi B and Offset reading just to see where things stand with their divorce for those of you just joining. And as we've concluded, the divorce will happen. Cardi B most likely will have to pay out a pretty penny to in order to allow herself to break free from this, because it seems like she's really over it and wants to just complete this chapter in her life. But Offset will be left feeling regrets, having to move on from this, thinking that, you know, I thought that she wouldn't call my bluff. I thought that I would be able to revisit that at any time because of all the time she gave me chances in the past. And I wish it didn't end this way. And not only am I taking an L in my personal life, but now my career is also not what it used to be. So it seems like Offset career wise may have to try something different in order to step into a more lucrative stage in his life, but also a more peaceful stage in his life, since the Six of Swords usually indicates that you're moving on from choppy waters to calmer waters. So all around, there will be transitions. You can also consider this to literally mean travel. Some people, I've seen some readers interpret that to mean travel. The world card definitely can mean travel, world tour. So Cardi B will be able to put this divorce or this marriage behind her via divorce. The divorce will be complete. She will also do her world tour, and they are going to move on from this tough chapter in their life. Both Cardi B and Offset will, but it seems like Offset will still be impacted emotionally. He will still have some internal work to do, some shadow work to do, as he will still be dealing with the tough realization that he will not have another chance with her as he had grown accustomed to in the past. So I guess that's somehow you get what you, what's the saying? You get what you give. That's what I was trying to say. You get what you give. Oh, interesting. Sweet Butter Baby just asked, will Cardi B win another Grammy? Okay, let me see if I could actually just throw out a quick card for that. Okay, will Cardi B win another Grammy? I didn't know she had one already. Good for her. Good for her. You know what really surprised me? When they said that Meg won a bunch of Grammys, I was like, what? Meg B. Stallion won Grammys for what? They're really giving them out, huh? But maybe it's just me. I don't, I don't really listen to that kind of music. But hey, I guess somebody does. For it to be Grammy Award winning worthy. Oh, Sweet Butter Baby said, "Yup, Megan won a couple for the Savage remix." Okay, well that makes sense. That was a good song, especially since that song got like a lot of circulation because it was released around the pandemic when people were just indoors and consuming a lot of content. So that actually makes sense if she won for that, because that definitely had a lot of reach. But I feel like a lot of Meg the Stallion's other music doesn't have as much reach as like that song did. So that's why I was like, oh no, did they just give her Grammys for just an album that most people are not really like? I've never really heard people play her music outside of that Savage song, and I think one other song, the Cardi B song. So those features really helped her. And you know, they say she's winning right now with her relationship. She looks great, she's fit, she did her swimsuit line. But yeah, I don't know about her personal legal troubles. Like that's something that's really impacting Meg the Stallion's personal brand, I would say. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, wait a second, because the original question was, will Cardi B win another Grammy? And I'm not going to accept this just because I didn't properly ask the question as I was shuffling. But just interesting to keep in mind, if this card were to come out again, I would consider this a no. This is the Ace of Cups in reverse. But let me continue shuffling here. Okay, so let's pull out one or two cards just really quickly to see if Cardi B will win another Grammy. Spirit, will Cardi B win another Grammy? I'm sorry, energetically, I just heard no. Or spiritually, I just heard no, but let's see what we see. Yeah, it's all no, girl. Whoa. I didn't even try. I mean, strength reversed. This is weaknesses. This is self-doubt. This is a no card. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is bad luck, misfortune. This is a spot of negativity in the life cycle, temporary, of course, which is good. But both cards indicate that no, she will not. And I would also go on to say, in my personal opinion, just because Sweet Butter Baby, as you were saying in the comments, something about how Jay-Z was able to block, what's her name? Block Nicki from being on a successful song. That's just a representation of what happens often in the industry. They pick favorites. And so I'm assuming that is something that Cardi B may experience as well if she hasn't already. So Cardi B may have already had her moment where she was put on a pedestal and supported or propelled, like pushed forward by the industry machine. And now that they maybe do not believe in her as much, or whatever it is that may be happening behind the scenes, everything I'm saying is just alleged, no facts, no truth, just tarot and talk. We're just chatting. We're just people with eyes and ears, keeping our ears to the internet streets, right? We're just chatting. But seems like Cardi B may no longer have the industry support that she once had that allowed her to get a Grammy before. So that may be part of the reason that she may not get one again. Things have changed for her in terms of the industry and in terms of the network. She's still likable. Her fans still like her and her brand. I actually still have her album here. I didn't even listen to it because it's not my kind of music, but I just thought it was just so cute, her cover. And I thought it was really funny the way she's able to laugh at herself. And I don't even have a CD player. I literally just got it for this cover. And I like the I am the drama at a time that she indeed was having so much drama in her life. So it seems like she's able to roll with the punches. You got to give it to her. Cardi B is able to let all of the drama and difficulty that she experiences in her life roll off her back and to continue moving forward, which is really good. Good for you, Cardi. Good for Cardi's fans. So while she may not win again in the industry, she could still win in other ways by continuing to make money and continuing to enjoy the support of her fan base, because she may not have the support of the industry anymore, is what I'm saying about Cardi B. Oh, Kuchunga said it looks like her 15 minutes of fame might be over. Yeah, well, I think her fame will continue. I think Cardi is a very likable persona, but I just think that the support that the industry gave her will not is currently not there. Who knows if she can get it back in the future, but it seems like she's on her own, and that's why she's actually putting a lot more energy into it. And she looks great out there, like dancing and dropping it and singing full force and having really good stage presence while pregnant, after pregnant. So, Cardi really wants it. She's really motivated, it seems, from the clips that I've seen of her. But I don't know if the music's really hitting. Like I can't tell you one song from the new album. As I told you, I didn't even listen to it. I just have it just as a, what do you call it, a memento to remember this time in pop culture and hip hop culture. And I, think she looks great, but I don't know any of the music. I know that when she had her first album, people really loved the Bodak Yellow. I liked her song Money. She had so many great features. I liked her on the Cardiana. I'm at home with my baby's Mamiana. I love that song anytime that used to come on. Or I like her verse. I don't know. The song is kind of ratchet, but but that's her style. And I think that's why she has such a nice fan base, is because people like her authenticity, like her ability to just be who she is. She comes from the Bronx. That's, a bit street, a bit, coming out of a more rough environment. And she embraces that, and she is still herself even after the money, even after the fame. And some people really like that. They consider that authenticity. Other people think that there may be a lack of refinement there, but either way, it's working for her in her brand. So I think fame will continue for her, but I just feel like it's a more challenging time with not as much industry support as she had before. And I don't know if there's a rumor, I don't know if this has something to do with it, but there's a rumor that some people speculate that part of why the industry was helping Cardi B before was because they wanted to go against Nicki Minaj. So somehow that's full circle to the conversation that was happening in the chat. Okay, so speaking of Nicki Minaj and all of the women in rap that she has recently been beefing with, Cardi B was one of her most recent targets. And I'm using this as an opportunity to pivot into a realization I recently had. So I recently did a reading on Cardi B, where a beautiful, sparkly, shiny viewer asked if she will be postponing her tour. I did a reading to see if she would postpone it, because this will be the first tour that she will actually move forward with. And she did a lot of interviews to insist that she will be moving forward with it despite the pregnancy, because the last time she was due to tour with, I believe, Bruno Mars, she did cancel. And that was the first time that she was pregnant. She's now pregnant with her fourth child. And naturally, fans or people interested in going to see her tour were a bit suspicious or doubtful. Fans were a bit doubtful that she would truly continue with the tour, that she might cancel as she did before, and she insisted otherwise. So when I pulled the cards for that reading, that mini reading, to find out if she will ultimately have to postpone the tour, I got these cards, and the one that stood out was the Empress, because this indicates pregnancy. This is the goddess of fertility, and it very much aligned with what I was saying at the time and what we came to learn of her being pregnant. But I recently saw a reading from another very powerful, very smart, and it seems to be a very accurate psychic. And her reading said that Cardi B may lose her father soon, allegedly. I hope not. But that made me think back to the cards that I got in my reading, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. The first card that came out was the 10 of Swords. This indicates someone that is going to experience a painful loss. Visually, This card usually shows a man on the floor with 10 daggers in his back. So that could translate into a literal death. The Emperor in reverse. This is a father figure. We can, again, look at this very literal and consider this the fallen father. Death of a father has fallen. Wow. And then we had the Empress indicating the pregnancy and the Hangman indicating stagnation, feeling stuck, needing to sacrifice in order to gain any necessary clarity to get to the next stage. So I found that so interesting that when I first did my reading, the cards were saying pretty much the same thing, but I was interpreting them more in terms of the literal meanings of what the cards can mean in terms of, again, painful ending. The Emperor, I considered it more about business, and the Empress about pregnancy, creativity, abundance, and the such. But when we look at the literal visuals of these cards, I was like, oh no, say it's not so. I hope that's not the case. Cardi, death of Cardi B's father, which will ultimately contribute to the postponement of her upcoming tour next year, along with her pregnancy. She's going to want to be closer to that baby at this time after experiencing a loss. You're going to want to be closer to loved ones and feel that much more in the stage of nesting. So I just wanted to revisit that reading. I'll probably either stitch this clip with that reading or just make this a short, because I feel like that is important to document this alternative meaning of the cards. And I hope it's not true, Cardi. I hope that's not the case. But the fact that I've seen another psychic, well, I'm not a psychic, I'm just a tarot reader, I'm an intuitive, but just to see that other people in the spiritual world have gotten the same message as the cards, where there's smoke, there's fire. We hope it's not true, but if it is, you've seen it here and you heard it elsewhere. And I want to shout out that that lady's channel. She's really good. If you guys are interested in more celebrity readings, her name is Intuitive 144. Very interesting stuff. If you want to go check out her readings, that's where I saw that. So shout out to her. All right, let's shift into something more upbeat and positive. And again, wishing nothing but the best for Cardiana, Cardi B, B for Belcalis. I hope that indeed you're able to have your baby and keep your father and go on tour and show out and be your best. So let's hope the cards are wrong. If you guys like anything at all from these readings, please give me a like. As a small and new creator, it means so much. Thank you. Hearts, hearts. It really helps the channel and the algorithm to pick up my content and share it with other lovely, sparkly, illuminated viewers like yourselves. It all means so much. I appreciate you, and I hope to enjoy more of that with you all in the new year. So with that, I wish you all abundance and illumination. May divine light radiate through your life. Keep shining. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it is that you celebrate. May you enjoy a beautiful season with your loved ones. If you are going to travel, please fly safe or commute safely. I wish you all the best. Big hugs.